Well, hey everybody, it's Thursday. Let's see, what are we? The 16th day of January, 2025. I'm Jan Erickson, and this is As Above, So Below. I hope you're having a good week. I don't know, it was like almost 60 degrees here on the high desert yesterday. The bugs are coming out, and including in the house. It's like, oh, geez, here we go. And it's just the middle of January. Oh, but we don't have climate change, do we? Oh, no. I think one obvious factor in that is not only what you see around you, but we've gone into a different zone for garden planting. Usually it was zone 5. Now it's, depending on where you are here, it could either be zone 6 or zone 6.5. So things are maybe a little easier to grow, but that also means other things happen as well. So anyway, let's go ahead and I'm going to move this over here so I can write down what I've got for today. Let's go ahead and take the Elder Futhark rune and get started here on the above side, or the spiritual side of things. Well, if one will ever end up in my hand, there we go. Well, we have Kenaz. Now, Kenaz is the 6th rune of the Elder Futhark. It's the torch. You can kind of see, the angle of everything sort of emits light outward, like either a torch or a flashlight or something. But it's also about the light of spirit and expressing that outward in your life. It can be about, revelation and clarity, well-being and love and healing. But it's that expressing outward. You'll see Kenaz as one of the foundational runes throughout the Elder Futhark, either, this way or this way with Tiwaz, or, this way with Ewaz and Manaz. And, you got them both with both forward and reverse with Yura, for example. And so it's incorporating, the rune itself is incorporating that expression of light into your perceptions and into your interactions with other people. For example, let's go ahead and look at the below side of things, or the ego or physical reality side of things with the geomancy runes. We'll throw down the 4 geomancy runes, the elemental ones, and put them in the order of fire, air, water, and earth. And I believe we have Acquisitio. That's a missio. It's complement. This would be Acquisitio. This would be gain. Reversed, or its complement would be a missio, and there'd be loss. This could be increase. This could be decrease. It could have something to do with finances, but it doesn't have to. And so if you look at a or Acquisitio today as just an increase of something, then it could be with Kenaz, paired with Kenaz, the increased expression of light in all that you see and do and feel and experience. If it was finances, it could be that you have some clarity that leads to increased wealth. But at the same time, I think that I prefer to let the Elder Futhark runes sort of set the tone for these two. And it just seems to me that increased awareness, increased clarity, increased well-being, increased love, increased expression of light to everything, and to understand things from a higher perspective. There's an increase of that today. So maybe there's something the cards are going to say to us that maybe might indicate a lack of understanding, maybe some deception, where Kenaz is saying, well, not so fast. I'm going to understand what this is really about. I'm not going to see things just on the surface, or just from a reaction, but from higher awareness. And so let's see, though, what they have to say. I'm going to cut the deck, take the lower half, and draw 3 cards. Well, interesting. I think that I'm going to begin with the card of death. I'm going to move to the four of uh, I can either start with the four, because the card 13 is the card of death, and so it's a four numerology along with the four of swords. And then I have the six of cups. So we've got a major arcana card, two from the minor, one from swords, one from cups. But let's start with transformation, because I think it's going to align the best with Kenaz here. Here we have the death card. You see the king laying on the ground dead. You see the priest here administering last rites. You see the child here. You see the queen who's bereft. You see death riding through in his on his white horse and in his black battle attire. But of course, as always, the visor's not down on the helmet here. But you see a feather that you also see. I know you see it in there. There's also one. I can't think of where the other one is. Well, there's one with the fool, but instead of it being, in a breezy position, right, as the fool is taking its leap into form and into this physical reality, here is just sort of hanging. So, excuse me, still a little COVID cough here. We see him holding a flag with a rose, with a pentagram in it, only the pentagram is reversed. And so the focus is on the earthly plane and letting go of spirit, basically. But here, over here, on the right side of the card in the distance, you see two towers and a sun rising between them. And so a new balance is coming, a new type of transformation, just in the same way that the tower is transformative, so is death. And something new is on the horizon. You've let go. You see, well, here you see even though it's blue, you see the ferryman's boat there, waiting to take the body, or either the body of the king to transport for his funeral, for the body's funeral, or it's the transportation of spirit into the higher realms. So there's a new structure with its more numerology. There's a new structure. There's a new understanding. There's a new awakening, if you will, a new foundation, if you will, when you go through this transformation with death. So perhaps acknowledging the spirit within has been difficult. Perhaps this is a new day where the light is returning for you and you're understanding more clarity is achieved about something that maybe has been perplexing for a while, or maybe you've been in a mode of experience that just wasn't yielding any results for you, that where maybe you were falling prey to deception, or you were engaged in deception of some kind, or somebody that's maybe a little manipulative suddenly understands by seeing the fruits of all of that that's not how I want to be. So maybe it's that kind of transformation where your foundation is your structure or your beliefs, we could say your beliefs are now undergoing a change. We move on to another four numerology here on the four of swords. Swords is the air element, so that's thought and balance and reason and analysis, legal issues. And because they're pointed, the swords are pointed downward here in the mausoleum. You can tell it's a mausoleum because of the stained glass there. You also see well, you can see the body has been created on top of the coffin, and so he's in his eternal slumber. But you also see a horizontal sword, so there's a rebalancing here between physical reality and spirit, and perhaps spirit is now informing your awareness with this. So again, a new foundation, a new structure, one that's built on higher awareness, an increase of that with with acquisitio here, an increase of that higher awareness, and then you're able with the six of cups to extend love and compassion and joy and fellowship to somebody else. Maybe that was a tough one, and things have happened where you've come to some kind of better understanding. You see the X right here, which is reminiscent in terms of the Elder Futhark of Gebo. Gebo is an X pattern, and it's about balanced energy exchange. It's the gift of reciprocity. It's the gift of love. It's the gift of partnership, the gift of marriage, if you will. And here you have one person who's taller giving a gift of you see the white lilies there and the other flowers that are inside the lot of greenery here inside the cups or inside the chalices, and uh, and you're giving this gift to this other person with a pure heart. And again, maybe that's been a tough thing. Maybe things have been very reactive for you up until now, but suddenly you're starting to realize that reaction really doesn't yield full clarity. You're reacting to a moment, you're reacting to your own perception of it, and it may be suggesting that there's more to the story than what you realize. And to be able to transform your perceptions in a way that allow for an awakening of sorts, awakening to higher awareness. The sun is always going to indicate the creator. And so that type of higher mindset, that higher awareness, maybe has eluded you for a little while, and clarity is increasing, and with the realization that if I can't stand back and look at something without judging, and without seeing all the components, because maybe you're ignoring some very real information that taking time out to reconsider and to let your mind settle, maybe there can be a better balance here in terms of clarity, and in terms of understanding the true picture of what's going on. And then when you wake up, you realize that it's time to share what I have with others, to share my own purity of motive, purity of heart, and loving and compassionate feelings I have for other people, to let them know that they're there, and that that's the real solution to the problem, not trying to be at loggerheads or trying to control or trying to judge or anything like that. Let's take a quick look here at the numerology of the reading. Where is my calculator? There it is. Okay, so we've got a 6 from the rune Kenaz, plus a 13. We have 19 there, plus 4. That's 23, plus 6 is 29. Well, 9 and 2 is 11, and 11 is the master number for awakening and enlightenment and illumination, and it basically dovetails perfectly with Kenaz, because that's really what Kenaz is expressing. Even though it's the 6th rune, it's really an 11 numerology of awakening and enlightenment and illumination, expressing truth from a higher perspective instead of from the ego's perspective, where there could be some kind of manipulation involved of what the truth is. We've had a lot of that, and I know around our country in the last 8 years, 9 years, where it just seems like this truth is what you make it, and instead of truth just being truth, and lying to get people to believe something else. And now we're embarking upon that again, apparently, where we're going to have to try to discern what truth is. And if we don't do that from a higher perspective, we're not going to understand what's really going on. And being willing to let go of whatever perceptions you had about something, and let the light come in so that you can see it, no matter how upsetting it might be, no matter what that ends up looking like. The truth is better, the light is better than living in darkness, and especially if that darkness that you're living in is willing. You're willing yourself to be there, because it's easier, it's more convenient. In truth, it's not. And part of the struggle that we have in these lives that we choose before coming into these bodies, it has to do with challenges and struggle, and trying to understand the bigger picture of things so that we can move through those challenges and struggles in a way where we actually learn something from it, instead of reinforcing the ego's hold on our perceptions. And so this just may be a very, I mean, although it may apply to something really personal in your life, this may be something that's a more collective consciousness type of experience as well. So keep that in mind, that this is coming from a higher place, reminding us that our perceptions can put on us a stranglehold, essentially, and we can't get out of that. And so we see things through clouded vision when higher clarity, if we would just step away from all that and let go of all of that and start again and move ever higher in our vibration, where we can understand what's really happening in life and learn from it, you know. So again, with Kenaz and I keep saying Amicio, with Acquisitio, we're increasing that clarity, we're increasing that higher vision today, and we need to maintain that now throughout our lives, so that we understand when people are trying to sell us a bill of goods that's exactly what they're trying to do. When they're trying to con us, that's what they're trying to do. And if you need to take some time away, like with the four of swords here, to let your mind rest, to remove yourself from the situation, to withdraw from it, and that you need more clarity on, then you meditate on what the higher vision of this truly is. And then when you come back, you have more of a shared path. Six can be about empathy, it can be about guidance, it can be about assistance, it can also be about shared path, where we're going in the same direction together, and it's a direction that's based on love and compassion and joy and fellowship with other people, instead of feeling, and in other words, seeing everyone as the other side of self instead of the other, which I think is a real problem that this entire world has, really, that we live in, that people on earth just struggle with that, seeing each other as a brother, as a sister, as family, as the other side of self, that because we are populating our experience with our own mindset, with our own perceptions. Can you imagine if everybody decided to switch to this kind of mindset, where they expect nothing in return, you know, but just the joy of giving and sharing to other people? That's where we need to resonate. And that's a tough one right now, because that's not happening. You might have some people that do that, but enough people don't, that it doesn't allow for the light to break through. And I think that today and for the next few days until we meet again on Monday for another reading, think about this. Think about how your perceptions might be clouding your vision, and think about how your reactions might be clouding your vision, and how letting go of them and letting the light return, the higher vision that you are as a soul, embrace that instead of the immediacy of the moment and the immediacy of the reaction that you have. And then meditate upon that. Give yourself a chance to think about it and to see the value in that whole experience, letting the light in and then expressing it outward to others in your surroundings, right? In your environment, in your family, in your work, your neighborhood, in your community. And see what kind of impact you have on other people and their ability to do the same. Help everybody else raise their vibration as well into that higher vision, that higher mindset, that higher awareness, and then give to others. Share that joy and love and higher vision with others. Just by being an example of it, not necessarily saying, well, Harry, listen to what I've been thinking about lately. It doesn't have to be like that. It can just be the vibration you emanate to others of love and light and kindness and generosity. So anyhow, that's all. I don't think we need another card. I think it's really interesting that the overall numerology is 11 and the master number for all of that. So it sort of brings everything together with that. That is the foundation, instead of the foundation of ego and reaction and judgment and all that negativity. So Anyhow, thanks for watching. Check out the blog over at Stepping Aside. The web address there is imsteppingaside.com. If you forget, click on more below the video, and a little window will open up, and it's right up there at the top. The forecast comes out, as does the spell casting information for the week. The correspondences for the week comes out in the midnight hour on Sunday mornings. So the new ones will come out then. You can also read that stuff over, well, some of it anyway, over on Substack and Medium. And there's links to that as well down below there in that little window when it pops up. And come back again on Monday for another edition of As Above, So Below. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.